everybody, and welcome to Shine Your Light, and more specifically, welcome to part 2 of moderation. Now, as you know, last week I picked out moderation as the virtue and I experienced firsthand how my 5-year-old, how Raphael got so worked up when it was time to switch off the game console. And this was after having excess, right? Too much of the PlayStation. I had to make a change. And I'm not saying that this is something that's going to be permanent. We don't always get this right as parents. It's part of life. But the reason why I'm telling you about this is not so that I can confess my sins. It's because I wanted to talk about the contrast between the first few days and the day we decided to practice moderation in the house. What a difference it made. They had friends over. I was looking after my friends' children as well. They all came in, welcomed them in and, settled them down. Then I sat down with them and I said to them, we are going to start our day with a devotional. Okay, which means, but I call it circle time. I didn't call it a devotional. I called it circle time. And what circle time is we sat down, we had a round of prayers, a minute of meditation, because the youngest is not even 5 years old yet. So there's no way he was going to sit down for more than a minute. So we had a minute of meditation, and we had a story, a beautiful story that was all about courtesy. And then afterwards, I had a pen and paper in hand, and I said, okay, now we're going to draw up together what the rest of the day is going to look like. All of us are going to contribute towards formulating what the day is going to look like. And they all had an input. Some of them were like, let's do a bit of art. And bless her soul, my Isabella said, let's do maths. And everybody was like, Reh! It was one of those record scratch moments like, Reh! What did you say? Maths, let's do some math. And at first everybody was very reluctant, but in the end we did all these Sudoku puzzles and the kids were loving it. They were like, more, challenge us some more. And they were enjoying the fact that, they were being challenged and they could do the puzzles, and it was, working their minds, and they actually really had a good time. So the day was split up into an hour of this, 30 minutes of this, an hour of that, 30 minutes of this, then lunchtime, then free time, then a little bit of physical activity, a little bit of outdoor time. And it was the best day of half term. And for me, not only was the structure element important, but the moderation element was just as important. Because you can have structure and still have too much of something, It can be structured extremism. Extremism can be structured. You know what I mean? It could be that I said 5 hours of maths. That's structure. 5 hours of maths, 30 minutes of exercise, and da-da-da-da-da-da. Moderation meant that they got a little bit of everything they desired, everything that stimulated them and gave them joy. And I am so pleased we all made that discovery.